Hey, what's going on, credit family? This is a quick inside perspective of my business credit audio where I literally educate you guys step by step by step on how I establish over $75,000 of available business credit lines. Now, I do not want you to take what I'm saying for granted. I want you to go to my Instagram page and verify everything that I'm mentioning because transparency is very important to me and it should be important to you. So you can validate everything that I'm saying on this audio right on my Instagram page. My Instagram page is Royale, which is Troyale. If you want access to the full audio, simply just click the link in the description. For $75, you will get access to all of this material for $75. You will not find value like this anywhere else. Please enjoy this sample. Okay, guys, so now I'm going to talk to you guys about the difference between a social security number and the EIN number. Now, your social security number is given to you at birth, right? When you're born in a hospital, there's a social security number generated for you, right? So that's for your personal being. Then, when you incorporate a business, whether if you LLC, you C Corp, or you S Corp, your business will be given a EIN number. An EIN number stands for Employee Identification Number, right? So as a taxpayer, you pay taxes through your social security number. As a business, you pay taxes through your EIN number. Now, this is what's most important about these two different numbers. These two different numbers are considered to be two different people. So I run myself. I know that sounds crazy, but I run myself, right? My social security number. I'm in control of my social security number, right? I'm also in control of my business, right? So to the bank's eyes, those two different numbers, the social security number and the EIN number, are two different numbers that I'm able to go ahead and leverage credit from, right? So I can go ahead and open up a personal credit card. I can go open up a personal auto loan, a personal mortgage under my social security number. And I also have the ability to open up a EIN, with my EIN number, I have the ability to go ahead and open up a business credit card, open up a business auto loan, a business mortgage, etc. Right now, this is what's really, really important about this. What I do on my social security number is not shown on my business credit report, and vice versa. What I do on my business credit profile isn't shown on my personal social security number, right? So this is magic, and this is the rule of multiplying, and very wealthy individuals understand this concept that with your personal social security number, at some point you are going to max out, and I'm going to explain to you what that means. So I don't care how much money you make, whether if you make $50,000 a year, $100,000 a year, or $2 million a year, right? You write $2 million off on your taxes, right? That's the income coming in. At some point, you are going to max out your income. And what that means is banks have come up with a formula. The formula is DTI. It's called DTI, excuse me, debt to income ratio. Now, what that means is that banks are going to be reluctant, meaning they're not going to be willing to give you more credit based off of the fact that you already have too much debt. So if you're making $100,000, right, you're gonna drive a car that represents that you make $100,000. You're gonna live in a house that represents that, or you're mortgaging or renting, whatever you're doing, you're represented by the money that you make. It's just a status situation, right? But at the same time, you have to look at the overall bigger picture, which means that you are accumulating debts, right? You're accumulating debts based off of your income. So again, the banks have a formula, DTI. The more debt that you have taken on, the less likely that banks are going to be willing to give you more debt. So at some point, you're going to max out what the banks are going to give you. When you have a credit card, you have your student loans, you have your mortgage, you have an auto loan, you have personal loans, you have a vacation home, etc. At some point, you're going to have too much debt on your social security number, and banks are going to be unwilling to give you more debt. Now, what wealthy individuals do is they do the multiplying rule when they will go ahead and open up a business, and now this EIN number has the ability to open up new credit lines, right? So I've maxed out my social security number, but now I'm going to go ahead and open up a business. So I had this EIN number, so now I can go ahead and get more debt, if you will, or more credit. And when people say the word debt, it scares certain people, but to really wealthy individuals, debt isn't seen as a bad thing. Debt is seen as this is something that I have to pay back the bank, but this debt is going to make me money. So if I hypothetically, right, if we're investing into real estate, I have a mortgage, right, which I have a tenant that lives there and they're paying me rent, which is cash flow, right? So I have debt, which is the mortgage. So I pay, just say, $700 a month, right? But the actual tenant that lives in this apartment complex that I own is paying me $1,200 a month, right? So if you will, I'm netting $500. Now, of course, there's other expenses that are put in place, but the overall plain picture, if you will, is I'm netting $500. So the idea of debt to them doesn't hurt them because they're making money off of the debt, right? Super, super, super important. Now, what's important is that you understand that at some point you're going to max out your social security number, and this is why the EIN number is so golden. You can open up as many businesses as you want, which means you can have as much EIN numbers as you want. Now, you have to be disciplined. You don't want to over leverage yourself, because just like the banks have come up with a formula, you have to come up with a formula that says, you know what, I don't want to accrue any more debt because it's very likely that I'm not going to be able to pay back my debts, and then I'm going to end myself in a really, really bad debt spiral, or I'm going to start defaulting on loans and credit cards, et cetera, et cetera. So you just don't want to go out and start opening up 10 businesses and then getting 10 EIN numbers and then getting 10 cars hypothetically and 10 credit cards and 10 auto loans, whatever it is, right? You don't want to put yourself in that situation. You have to, if you will, discipline yourself and understand how much debt you can take on. But more importantly, this is really, 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 really important, guys. Understanding that the social security number is considered, the social security number and the EIN number are considered to be two different people, even though one person runs the both of them. Right now, once you can leverage both of these appropriately, you can do so much more. So again, the debt that I have on my social security number is not seen on my business credit profile, and the debt that I have on my business credit profile isn't seen on my personal credit history. Super important, guys. And this is, like I said, this is what the banks are going to look at in order to put you in a position to give you more debt. But you have to monetize what kind of debt you want to take on.